After getting the inheritance from the mother, which was really the money from the father, and also depending on the fortune of the spouse, Biferman Boni, which was also the astrologer, she was practicing this as a hobby, she was able to move to the island and live in the, as she called it, the paradise. So we will see in this chart how it is possible and what yogas in the chart are enabling and showing that set of circumstances. So again, as in the previous example, which you can see here, we have here the loaded 8th house, and we have two benefics, and the Jupiter here is the Dana Karaka. Dana means the wealth, the Karaka is the significator. So having so well placed 8th house in the chart may secure the finances, especially if that same Jupiter is also having the function to lord the houses of wealth in the chart. We know that there are 4 such houses: 5th, 9th, 2nd and 11th, and here the Jupiter is the 2nd and 5th lord. And also a very important point is that for a woman, for ladies, we need to take the 5th lord for the father. So this was the really inheritance from the mother, although it was unlocked after the demise of the mother. Now we have also a very strong 7th house because the Saturn has a Digbala there, and we have 2 7 lords. Not everyone knows and not everyone uses it, but the Taurus, the 2nd sign, also called the Varisha Rashi, he has the 2 lordships of a Venus and the Moon. So we have the 7th lord Venus in the 8th house, which is also promising the wealth from the spouse, because the 8th is the 2nd, which is the finances of the 7th of the others, which is also including the spouse. Also the other 7th lord, the Moon, is with the 10th lord. So 10th lord from the Rashi chart, it may not show your income occupation which you are getting from the society, therefore it is definitely shown by the 10th from the Moon, but it is showing various projects, and also it could be some kind of side hustle, or it could be other wealth sources, and in this case this is connected to the 7th lord, which would again support the wealth coming from the spouse. And now what is very important, the 10th from Moon is the Mars. So this is the really planet which is controlling your income, your work. If that is somehow stopped or frozen, like in this case, Rahu is freezing that Mars, it is making it stuck, you are not going anywhere. And this is because of good causes. Good from some perspective, because if you have this ambition to work, then this freeze may not be so auspicious. But here in the Navamsha, the Venus at Makaraka in the 7th house may show that this person is into the other ayanas or directions of life. So here we have this Mercury in the 10th house, and exactly when that Mercury Dasha has come, then this freezing of career life, because Mercury and the 10th house is this yoga of Rahu, Mars, and Mars is the 10th lord from the Moon. So because of 8 and 11, because of this income coming from other sources including spouse and also the inheritance, the person was freezing the work. So the person resigned from the occupation of teacher and was moving out to the island, right? The island is usually connected to the Mars, and we see the 4th lord Rahu is with the Mars. So this is all in that one combination. The whole story is slowly unfolding. So very important thing is that the Ketu in the Arudha Lagna would be also something which we need to take into consideration, because this is making a person going into that moksha marga, which is more liberation. So these people could be minimalist, they like to live close to nature, they are going to some vipassana, meditation, to some retreats. They are basically living that more minimalistic style, because this is more sattvic and more, we could say, compatible with the liberation, with the sadhana and the spirituality, when the soul is really not taking any part of this material world into the next place, into the next stop. This person was teacher of the language. We see that the 10th lord from Moon, the Mars, is with the Mercury. This is even more obvious if we take into consideration the Navamsha, because we have this Mercury and the Jupiter. 10th lord Mercury is with the Jupiter, which is also the Jupiter is showing the teacher. Okay guys, if you like this video so far, please don't forget to click the thumbs up and also subscribe with the bell notification on if you'd like to see similar videos in the future. Now let's go back to this video. In the Dashamsa we have Moon in the 6th house, which is dominating the situation, but the Jupiter being an own sign is giving that effects of that Moon. and therefore it was also enabling that Jupiter to come into the picture in the chart of work, the Shamsa. But let us focus on that going into this paradise, right? We would all want to go to the paradise here in this situation and in this context, not going to living this super material resources and going to some unknown place in the other metaphysical region, but rather this paradise in this material world. So we have here a Venus and Mercury. That was the time. In a Venus-Mercury Dasha, person stopped working, right? So this is very nicely shown in the Rashi, Navamsha and the Shamsa. Rashi is the main chart, Navamsha is the chart of fortune, which we need to take always into consideration, and the Shamsa would be the chart of work. So let's see how this Mercury is placed in all these three charts. As said, Mercury is being freezed by this Rahu and Mars, by this Kuja Stambhana. Also very important, and also something which is repeating. When the 11th house is activated, the person may either stop working or stop project, going to something else. So here Mercury is the 11th lord, because it's the Maraka, end of the 10th house, end of the work. And under this freeze of Rahu Mars, right? So Rahu is the 4th lord, Mars is an island, so this is also connected, going to island. In fact, it's like a leaving the place, because 4th lord in the 10th house, it's like leaving the 4th house. If the lord is always in the 7th from, then it's always either you are losing something or leaving, or that person is leaving you, or there is some going away direction of that object, which is the house of reference. Now, very important point in the Navamsha, 10th lord in the 5th, you may see, oh, this is great, and in fact it is great, but it's 8 from the 10th again, right? So it's also ending something, right? It's end of the work, end of the project, starting something new, because it was really not that she didn't do anything on that island. She had another project, you can read that in the biography, but definitely the ending, the conventional scenario of being employed as a teacher and going to that island, this was over. So this is end of something, 8 from the 10th, right? End of something. Therefore, the 5th house also is showing something new. You are getting new job, especially in the Dashamsa chart. That should be definitely visible in that chart of work, right? And this was Venus and Mercury, and we have 2 houses which are responsible for ending the job. This could be you are being fired, you are going somewhere else. Here we have the benefics, right? So this could be very much rather activating that part of the story when you want to resign, when you, or it's connected to something good. It's at least connected to some wealth or some other situation where you are able to have this privilege to resign from the work, like in this case. And here it's also related to the Venus, so it could be related to the spouse. So just to repeat, this was possible because of the inheritance from the father, and because also of the wealth of the spouse. We see that Jupiter, Mercury, 7th lord in Navamsha, there could be some blessing in that direction. So in the Dashamsa, in the chart of work, we have Venus in the 3rd, Mercury in the 8th, right? So this is a very much, very brilliant example, because it's so easy to see 3rd and 8th getting activated, but you can see that in the Rashi and in the Navamsha we already have some impulses in that direction, some incentive to check in the chart of work, which was only confirmed in the Dashamsa. So if you are going through these charts one by one and you see that in the Navamsha and in the Dashamsa it's always very nicely showing up the situation, reflecting what's going on, then this should give you these 2 types of convictions. One is that this zodiac is right? So this sidereal zodiac, the star zodiac is definitely right, and therefore also the Vedic astrology, because in this type of astrology, in this school, we are getting the information how to calculate even those Vargas of Navamsha and Dashamsa. This is also something we can depend, we can consult to make our lives better. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it for today. I hope you find this interesting and informative. If you think so, then please don't forget to click the thumbs up. It really helps me with the channel to make this video more visible on this platform, and also subscribe with the bell notification on if you'd like to see similar videos in the future. Thanks for watching to the end and for being here with me on this channel. If you'd like to see another similar video, then consider this one here.